The Sun Queen trials are a tradition dating back through Aphelian's history. For thousands of years, the trials have chosen the line of queens to rule over the kingdom. 10 of the most beautiful and most skilled females from the finest families in Aphelion are selected to compete in the areas of etiquette, grace, stamina, logic, wit, and seduction, save one.
Hi friends, welcome to Beyond the Pages with Sarah and Savannah. So today we're going to be talking about, this is going to be the first in a series of 4 episodes. There will be a break in between the 4 books because we're going to be doing another book coming out in March. But this is Trial of the Sun Queen from the Artifacts of Oranos series by Nisha Tuli.
This book is from 2 different points of view. But it started off, I'm going to say, our feisty main character. I like went back and forth between like different words to kind of like describe her, and I think feisty is a good what's adjective.
Well, I was just looking at the next book in the series, and the dedication is to every woman who's been told they're too wild, too impulsive, too much, and may you always stay that way. That very well describes the main character in this book.
Yeah. Her name is Lore. Mm-hmm. She's also known as Prisoner 3452. She's been in Nostraza, which is a prison located in the Aurora territory, with her brother Tristan and her sister Willow for 12 years. Mm-hmm. My question is, does this make her 24?
I think so, because I do, like, I saw your notes, and I do feel like I remember her saying she was 12 years old when they arrived at Nostraza. And I think it also gives Tristan and Willow's ages early on in the book from when they arrived.
Okay.
And so that would make her about 24 years old. Though I have a memory now that I'm saying that of something that's said later in the book that makes me think
that she's younger.
I
agree.
And there's also, like, she has very little memory of her life before. So the fact that she was 12 when she went into this prison is kind of like, you should have full formed memories by the age of 12. Unless she's blocking her memories or not sharing her memories. Because I definitely think that Lore is an unreliable narrator.
Yes, there are so many things happening in this book that I'm like, okay, wait, what? You know? The entire first book didn't give us much to go on as to how she got there, why she can't remember anything before she got there. But yeah, there are different passages throughout the book explaining like past memories, but I'm not convinced if they're true stories or if what's being said is the full story.
I definitely don't think it's the full story. Like, we are told at one point in the book that Tristan was charged with murdering 2 King's Guards. Willow was charged with stealing an artifact, and Lore was never charged, but just thrown into the prison. So it's like, why?
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a lot of unanswered questions, which, I mean, there's 3 more books.
Yes, this is a completed series. That's why we're doing 4 episodes. There are 4 books in this series, and I'm really looking forward to the rest. And I really want the rest of my questions answered. I have an entire 8.5 by 11 page of questions.
Yeah, most of those are pretty similar questions to mine, too. And they're also questions that were questions in the book themselves. So yes. Yeah, we'll get into it.
Some of the characters were questioning these same things, and we didn't get an answer to it.
So the first 4 chapters, when we start the book, seem a little bit of an odd way to start, I found. But it was actually an interesting segue into the body of the book. although it left a few characters hanging in the air, which I'm sure will return in the coming books.
Yeah, specifically Willow and Tristan.
Yeah.
So Lauren is living in this prison with her brother and sister, who at this point in time, or up to this point in time, they are not telling anyone that they're siblings.
But like it's been 12 years.
Yeah. Though if I remember correctly, the life expectancy in Nostraza is very short. So the fact that they've been there for 12 years is insane.
And all three of them?
And all three of them, yeah. So,
but there's also there was the girl that we met at the very beginning.
Yeah, I don't think either of us put her name.
My book has all these tabs and they're all blue because there was just so many people. Jude.
So Jude is like Lore's mortal enemy. And it seems like they're probably around the same age, but we have no idea when Jude came to be at Nostraza. We just know that they do not get along at all.
Yeah, same with Arrow.
Yes, Arrow is her kind of
lover,
boy toy.
I don't know, like a person to find pleasure with.
Yeah, escape with, like mental escape, not physical escape.
Yeah.
So Lore gets into a fight with Jude in the first couple chapters, and it results in her being punished and sent to the pit, which is
it's called the Hollow.
Yes, sorry, the Hollow. I just watched the TV show The Pit, and that's what I'm thinking of. The Hollow, which is a pit in the ground, where she has no shelter from the weather.
The creatures,
she's barely, like, it's 10 feet deep, so it's too tall for her to climb out by herself, and the walls are crumbly, so she can't theoretically escape from the Hollow without guards from Nostraza bringing her out.
Yeah. I have, like, this part of the book made no sense to me logically, and I'm just gonna read what I wrote, okay? Because it's a lot of, like, statistics. So the rain filling up this hole, it talks about the walls being so crumbly that you can't climb out of the hole, which means the soil must be pretty moist is what I'm assuming.
Or really, really dry.
Yeah. So when it starts to rain, the ground, would it not continue to soak up this rain? And how many days did it rain? 2, I think? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
So the hole would need to be at a minimum 3 feet of water. But considering she could float on her back, I'd say the hole was fairly large. You know how wide it was if it was 10 feet deep?
I do. It says it. I think she said it was like 3 or 4 paces across because she'd been in the Hollow before, and she could remember that. But I do not remember off the top of my head.
Either way, it just didn't check out. Living in that hole for 3 to 4 days is unlikely for one person to survive.
And she was supposed to be there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And before she was there for a week. This is her second time going, I think.
And if I remember correctly, the general punishment for, like, the general time frame for being in the Hollow is like a day.
Yeah. So if she was in this hole for, let's say, 3-4 days, covered in water, what about the drowning risk, the hypothermia, the physical exhaustion, the bacteria, the infections? Plus, it takes a minimum of 2 days for the water to soak into the ground. So if we have 1 day in the hole, 4 days to fill the hole, 2 days to empty the hole, that's a whole week. Mm-hmm. And in the book, I think it was like 3 or 4 days that she was in the Hollow before getting snatched and brought to Aphelion.
I think it probably was like a week, though it doesn't. Maybe it was because, like I said, I think she's a unreliable narrator. It could have felt like more, because if the hole had filled enough. She would have been able to climb out, theoretically, because the water level would have risen so high. Even with a 10-foot drop, you can climb out eventually. With enough water. So it couldn't have been too high, but it had to be high enough that she couldn't just stand or sit. She couldn't sit, specifically. Because she does say, like, she was standing and then, like, floating and stuff like that. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. It does seem like it was only a couple days, but the math works out that it's more than a week. But anyway.
Also, the head guy of Nostraza, Kalava. Why would he put her in there for 2 weeks knowing that he's supposed to keep her alive?
Yeah, I don't know. Because we find out later in the book that Kalava was told by the Aurora King to keep a specific eye on her.
Yeah.
Like, that was his whole job. His real job was running the prison, but his whole job was meant to be watch lore.
Yeah.
We do not know why at this point.
No.
I have at least suspicions as to why. Mm-hmm. But that's one of my questions. Why? Why?
Know, there's so many whys. And that's probably how she's stayed alive for 12 years too, is that she's probably been giving a handout whether she knows it or not.
Well, we also know that she was used against her will.
Yeah. To get items.
I was going to say not necessarily against her will, but yeah, it would be against. She did not want to sleep with.
Yeah. There's no consent in certain things in order to.
A prisoner can't consent to sexual assault.
Yeah.
By the
But in order
warden.
to survive, I guess, like, to get, like, a bar of soap or maybe an extra meal or a new pair of shoes or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So after the first 4 chapters, we are introduced to our second point of view, which is from Nadir. Is that how you spell his name?
Yeah.
Or say his name?
Yeah.
Nadir. And he's actually the son of the Aurora King. Tell me what you think of Nadir.
Well, in my notes, I have he has Rhysand energy.
I didn't feel that at all.
It's more later on. He's kind of dark and broody and kind of pointless in this book for most of the book. And he doesn't really have that many chapters that are from his point of view. There's only about 4 or 5 chapters out of 50 that are from his point of view.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think it's 50 chapters, but there's only a couple that are from his point of view. So he's not really that important in this book. The next book is called The Rule of the Aurora King, so I highly suspect that he will be far more important in the next book.
Yeah. See, I
liked him.
Nadir.
I did like him, yeah.
I tend to gravitate more towards the, like, broody, quiet, like, male character rather than, like, the sunshiny character who people want you to like. Anyways, yeah. So the Aurora land is made up of 8 districts. It has the emerald, the crimson, the silver, the violet, the indigo, the teal, the amber, and the fuchsia. And Nadir also has 2 confidants. His twin sister.
I don't know if they're twins.
They had a comment about
they are siblings. They are siblings, and like they do look alike.
This was a question. I wasn't really sure because they do say like your little sister.
I don't think they're twins, but his sister is his like one of his best friends and like most important confidants.
Yeah, him or her and
I have his name.
Mael,
I think is how it was pronounced. Who is the captain of his personal guard at least.
Yeah.
He's a soldier. He's the best buddy. Like,
yeah, everybody needs a best buddy. They grew
Yeah.
up together. And then, Amaya is also his best friend.
Amia is how that
But
was
Nadir's
pronounced.
sole purpose in this book is to find prisoner 3452, also known as
Lore.
Yeah. At the request of his father, but his father won't tell him anything about Lore, and therefore he sends Nadir into a full-on spiral trying to figure out, who this person is.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we don't have very many chapters of Nadir, but I did find that they did showcase like his smart, rebellious, strategic side.
Well, I wouldn't even call it rebellious because he is absolutely trying to undermine his father and find a way to essentially get his father off the throne.
Yeah.
That is absolutely made clear either by him or by Amia. And like,
Do you say Amia?
Amia.
I've been saying Amaya.
So the two of them are absolutely against their father, who is this cruel, despicable human being or fae being. And yeah, so he's trying to find a way. He's hoping that prisoner 3452 is the way to get his father off the throne so that he can take his rightful place.
Yeah. There is some secrets with these people, though.
Oh my god, yes.
On page 185, there's a conversation between Nadir and Amia. And she says, "You haven't been the same since." And then cuts off, and they don't talk about it again. So I'm like, haven't been the same since when? What happened?
I think that if that's not one of my questions, it should be. But
what do you think it is? Do you have any idea?
It has to be that it has to do with why Nadir and Atlas hate each other so much.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
It could have to do with the earlier tributes.
Or the previous Heart Queen. Is that what she is?
I don't think it has anything to do with the Heart Queen. But it definitely has to do with why Nadir and Atlas hate each other so much.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that. Anyways, we'll introduce you to Atlas in just a minute.
Let me just flip my page here.
So Atlas is the Sun King.
Yes.
He is literally like sun incarnate. You said you had something you wanted to say about his hair.
Yeah, so Atlas was presented like a pretty boy who likes to play both sides and is spoiled because of it.
Oh god, yes.
That's how I see him. But in this book, I do not know what color this man's hair is because, first of all, everyone seems to have blonde hair in this book.
Yeah.
Like blonde, white hair.
Except for Nadir, who has black hair.
That shimmers with the colors of the aurora.
Yeah.
But the prince, the Sun King, also known as Atlas, on page 67, it says he has polished copper hair. To me, that's red hair. Copper? Maybe
a
like
red
a
brown,
dark, yeah. But on page 70, it says he has brown hair with orange and gold streaks.
Okay.
And page 96 says he has brown hair with copper streaks.
I mean, it could be the light hitting it in different ways, though why his hair needs to be described 3 times is beyond me. Because, like, red-brown hair can look more red or more brown in different lights.
I know, but, like, explain it like that the first time so it's in my brain when I'm reading it.
You don't need to describe his hair 3 different ways 3 times within, 30 pages?
Literally. Like, my brain doesn't see rippling changes of color. So I can't see that this is happening. I'm like, is it red or is it brown? Is it white, blonde, black?
So Atlas is responsible for getting Lore out of the hollow, We find that out eventually.
Yeah.
And it is so that she may compete to be the Sun Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And that quote from the beginning was about the beginning of the Sun Queen trials. And there are five challenges that the tributes go through
Yeah.
to become the Sun Queen.
Let me just oh my gosh. The English today is not Englishing. My goodness.
We just had our second Spanish class, so our brains are working in two different languages.
Let me talk about what the trial is.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's been 5 centuries since crowning a new queen, but it's only been 2 years since the previous games.
Mm-hmm.
But the trials themselves have been around for 8,000 years.
Yes. So we find out quite late in the book that only 2 years prior to the events of the story, there was another trial of the Sun Queen, or Sun Queen trials, and all of the tributes died. We don't know how, even through the end of the book. We don't know what happened to them. We don't know why they were killed, why only 2 years later they're having another set of trials.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I meant by the earlier tributes.
My question, though, is the land of Oranos is split into different realms. There's Tor, there's Celestrian, Alluvion, the Woodland, the Aurora, and Aphelion. Why are the trials only between Aphelion and the Aurora?
I don't think they are.
Because if you've read the book, you know on page 119 it does explain like the
why lore was included
of it and why lore was taken from the Aurora Kingdom, but is presented from
the Umbra.
The Umbra,
which is the slums of the Sun Court.
Of Aphelion.
Aphelion. I think that Atlas was lying to lore about the agreement between Aphelion and the Aurora. I think it was because he wanted her specifically.
Okay.
And that is because of information that we learn later on about her, specifically when they get to the mirror.
Okay. So, sorry. So, we'll go back. So, once lore kind of gets like taken from Nostraza and is brought to the Sun Kingdom, she meets Mag, her chambermaid, and Gabriel, who is her warder for the duration of her time in the games.
I really hoped that I would like Gabriel at the beginning.
He's so rude.
I
think he's like that for a reason, though.
Yes.
I honestly think he might be a spy.
I think that there are things that tie him to Atlas that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
That are forcing him to act the way he does. Or forcing him to obey Atlas even if he doesn't want to.
I know. There's something like I still am trying to give Gabriel the benefit of the doubt here.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I really wanted to like him at the beginning because in the first interaction between him and Lore, it's kind of jovial, friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very quickly that changes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, agreed. So to start off the games, they have what's called the tribute ceremony, and this is where Lore gets to meet Atlas for the first time and all the other tributes. She also learns her place is essentially a death sentence.
Yeah, because Lore is what is referred to as the 10th tribute, which is the one non-fae person and also not from a influential family.
She's from the Umbra.
supposedly.
And so they call her the Umbra Rat.
Yes, and the 10th tribute has never won the trials.
No. It was very hard to find all the tribute names.
Yeah.
I kind of had to keep a list as I went along, but I did manage to get them all. So there's 10 of them. There's Grianne, Eleanor, Aprecia, Halo, Marisi, Hesperia, Ostra, Tesne, Solana, and Lore.
Good pronunciation of
I was
those.
like,
I think it's Marie-Chi, but instead of Marie-C. But
you couldn't just call them like Marcia and
anyway,
something a little easier.
Yeah. So Lore becomes friends with Halo and Marie-Chi eventually, and bitter enemies with Aprecia and her gang.
Yeah, it's very split. But only like partway through at the very beginning, Laura is completely on her own.
Yeah, it takes until after the first challenge before Halo and Marichi even deign to recognize that she exists.
Yeah. So there's 4 trials.
So the first trial is life and death trivia. Let's put it that way. All of the tributes are hanging from ropes over water fae kind of merfolk kind of things that are cannibals.
Picture the mermaids from the 4th Harry Potter whenever they have to go and save their friends.
That's not the one in the stained glass window, the ones that are actually underwater.
Yeah, where he has to eat the gillyweed.
Yeah.
That's what I pictured. Like, they were ugly.
But with sharper teeth, I think.
They had pretty sharp teeth, no?
They did, but I think sharper teeth. So they're hanging from this rope, and each one, like, in turn, they're asked a question, and they have to answer 4 questions correctly.
I think it's 5.
They have to answer a set number of questions correctly in a time span.
Yeah.
And if they answer wrong, their rope drops. And it drops incrementally over, like, with each question you get wrong, it drops more. And I think if you answer 4 questions wrong or outside of the time frame, your rope drops all the way into the water. And at least one person dies in that challenge. I can't remember which one.
No, I can't remember which one either.
But
I feel like it might be Eleanor.
It may be. Anyway, one of the tributes dies in that, and I believe Halo or Marichi. Somebody else does fall into the water, but is saved.
Yep.
And so Lore, who knows nothing of the history of Aphelion, she has no chance of getting through this challenge properly.
Yeah.
And she does end up falling into the water, but she ends up getting out of the water alive.
Remember how I said that she was super feisty? So she was in a lot of fights back in Nostraza. So she had a lot of, like, fighting experience, whereas all the other girls...
experience, as opposed to sword fighting experience, which they are trained in sword fighting through the book.
But all these other girls would be, like, prim and proper in dresses, where she was, like... I'm gonna punch you out. Like.
Yeah, like, I think it's Aprecia and Lore are the only ones who go to this challenge in, like, pants as opposed to dresses.
Yes.
And so I think... I have the feeling that Aprecia was warned, like Lore was, to wear something durable and movable.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short... she gets out of the water, and because she was able to get out of the water by herself, she passes the challenge.
Yes.
Because part of the challenge was, how do you respond to failure, essentially? It could also be that Atlas wanted to keep her in the trials and was just using that as an excuse.
It did explain it in the book, and it was... Let me just see here. It said... The actual trial was, can you make it back to shore alive? That was the sentence. So whether you answered your questions correctly or you fought your way
back
to shore because these merfolk were essentially trying to...
They're cannibalistic.
Yeah, they're trying to eat you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so I think we lost... two?
I think
three. No,
two or three. I think one died and two failed. So they were helped out of the water by guards.
Seven tributes left, and the second trial, that was the gauntlet. Correct? Yes. If you don't know what a gauntlet is, you haven't read Fourth Wing, which, if you haven't read Fourth Wing, you should, and then listen to our podcast.
It was our first one. Check it out. Though a gauntlet can refer to a metal glove as well, but that's not what...
Very true.
What this is referring to. It is referring to a series of obstacles that they have to get through, including spinning logs, or swinging logs that, like, swing to hit them, spinning blades, a balance beam, a climb, and a zip line.
And all while doing all of this over a hole that has this creature in it that wants to eat you.
So if you fall, you die.
And you have an hour to finish it. And you don't get to... You all start at the same time, but you all can't go at the same time.
Yeah, like the first part of the gauntlet, the swinging logs, only one person can cross at a time.
So if that person took 20 minutes, you
have 20 minutes shorter in your time.
Yeah.
In this challenge, one person falls but survives because of Lore. Lore helps her swing to safety on the ground around the pit, and somebody else dies. Somebody else falls.
I think Grianne dies in this one.
I think Grianne dies in this one.
She's the one.
Or is Grianne the one that survives and Solana falls into the pit? I think it's Solana and Grianne that are the two that fail this challenge.
I honestly can't remember.
I can't remember either.
It was very difficult to put them all into your brain and, like, remember who was who, because they didn't go into much detail about these tributes.
I do remember Grianne being talked about a lot. Her and Aprecia are the two that are referenced the most out of Lore's enemies.
Okay.
Those are the two, and yeah, those are the two I can remember clearly.
Yeah. Essentially, though, at the end of this one, Lore had, 1 second?
Yeah, like, she literally lands from the zip line as the horn blows, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she barely passed this, and it's because of Halo that she barely passes it, because Halo wanted to give up.
There was something in this one, though, too, that gave you a bit of a head scratcher, that we kind of learned at the end because of, what is her warder's name? Gabriel was tasked to get her to the end.
Yes.
And so in this one, somewhere, it might have been this part, that she was given, like, a push. Do you remember that?
Yes. She felt like she fell because Aprecia called her name.
Yeah.
And so she slipped, and she was on the balance beam.
Oh,
and
yeah, right.
She gets this push. How she gets this push, we're not sure. I would probably guess most people would think it was Atlas's magic that pushed her. It could have been whatever gods they...
I think it's Gabriel.
I don't know that Gabriel has magic in his own right. So, but
didn't Gabriel cover up his scent in the hollow?
Yeah, but that could have been non-magical. So I don't know that it was Gabriel. I don't know if it was Atlas. Somehow she got this push that got her back up onto, like, to finish the balance beam.
Right.
And so she then has to climb this wall, and Halo does not want to, like, she's like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll pretend to fall, and you fail to catch me. And Lore's like, if you fall, you will die.
Yeah.
Because you will not make the jump to the safe ground. So
did only one die in this one?
I think only one died, but one failed.
How did one fail?
She did fall. Lore caught her and swung her to the ground around the pit. Because if you hit the ground before the end, you were out.
Oh, okay. So now we're down to 5.
Yes.
We're down to 5. Okay. So when we...
Maybe 4, because there's only 4 that go into the last one,
Well,
I
we
think.
had 3 from the first one.
Anyway.
And only 4 go into the
I
next
think
one?
so.
Okay.
I think there's only 4 of them at the end. Anyway, the next challenge is... they go to a ball. It's the Sun Queen ball.
It's a masquerade
It's
ball.
a masquerade ball.
And this is where they're challenged to get an object from a specific person.
A specific object from a specific person.
Yeah. But when they first get there, they just have to like mingle and like kind of use their cordial attributes to make everyone like them. And then within an hour or at the hour mark, they have to go find their warder who will tell them what they need to get and from who. And of course,
Gabriel's a dick about it.
yes, of course. Because at this point, Gabriel just like, he does not like Lore. We're not really sure why yet.
So,
And at this ball, Atlas is at this ball. And this is where we kind of find that Atlas and... No, did I say Atlas? I meant Nadir. I meant Nadir is at this ball.
All of the kings or queens from all of the courts, except for the Aurora court, which only Nadir, like the prince, is there in the stead of the king.
Yeah.
Are in attendance at this ball. So Nadir is there to represent the Aurora.
And of course, Lore has to get a ring from Nadir.
So it's not that simple, though, because when Lore eventually tracks down Gabriel tells her target is Nadir, and she needs to get the ring. But what Gabriel failed to mention was that's not actually her target.
No.
So she is trying to dance. She starts dancing with Nadir, trying to flirt her way into getting his ring, which she finds out is just a piece of junk. It's not anything special, which is the point of, like, they're supposed to get at like a family heirloom from their target, essentially. But Atlas sees Lore dancing with Nadir, and
this is
things
where
hit the fan.
And it makes us question, like, what is between these two that makes them hate each other so much? And yet they still have to be cordial, of course, because they're...
No, they don't, apparently. Because Atlas is not cordial with Nadir.
They're nice-ish. But at the same time, not really, you're right. But this is also the part where we find that Gabriel, is he... playing both sides?
I think he is and he isn't. He's playing against Lore always. But
is he with Nadir or is he with Atlas?
So. I think he's just playing against Lore, and I think he is unwillingly on Atlas's side. I think is what it is. There is also a comment earlier in the book by Nadir about them not getting along.
Yeah.
But during this commotion, Lore's dress, the shoulder of her dress is pulled down and reveals her brand from being a prisoner at Nostraza. And so Nadir now knows that this is the person he's been looking for.
So moving on. This book has so much in it.
Yeah.
So the fourth and final test, I guess, is an illusion test.
Yeah, they say that the point is to get the tribute's loved one through the door before they're killed. But everything they're experiencing is an illusion.
But why are they stuck in a mountain at the beginning? That part just doesn't make sense to me. Like, are they trying to figure out that it is an illusion so they don't die?
I don't know.
Is this how all the other tributes died?
I don't know. Like there are so many questions that this book has left me with. And that doesn't even, like, why they start in a mountain doesn't even merit a spot on the list. Um, so Aprecia and Lore are the only ones to successfully complete this challenge.
Yeah.
And so they have to face the kind of fifth challenge of facing the sun mirror. And the sun mirror, Lore faces it first, and it says, "You're not allowed to be here," essentially. Mm-hmm. This is forbidden. You can't be queen of the Sun Court. But by this point, Lore's like, "I don't want to be here," because he just, like, made us think that our family were dying.
I have a question. On page 369, 370, it talks as if Lore knows why Atlas wants her. But then when she goes to talk to the mirror, she is clueless. So I'm like, do you know who you are? Or do you not know who you are?
I think she knows who she is. I think she knows why Atlas wants her, but I also think she doesn't know why the mirror is saying what it is.
Like, I don't understand if she knows who she is, why she keeps playing dumb as to why people want her.
Unreliable narrator. That's my answer.
Like, it's so irritating. Mm-hmm. I'm like, make up your mind. Like, are you playing as if you can't remember the last 12 years of your life?
The first 12 years.
The first 12 years of your life? Or are you playing everybody right now?
I think she remembers enough of her early life to know who she is, why she's there, why everybody wants her, but doesn't know why the mirror is saying what it is. Because she doesn't understand the consequences of who she is. I think is kind of what it is. So
it makes me think.
Yeah, it's essentially my biggest question is why Lore? Most of my questions are like, how is Lore this, or why is Lore this, or whatever. So ultimately, Lore does not become the Sun Queen. Aprecia becomes the Sun Queen. And Lore is thrown into prison. Again, but this time in Aphelion. And she is broken out. At the very, very end of the book, she is broken out of the prison by Mael and Amya and taken back to the Aurora. And that is where the book ends. And
it's like a full circle.
It's a full circle. We don't know why she's back in the Aurora. We don't know what Nadir's plans for her are.
But do you think Nadir is her true mate?
Yes.
Do you think she has more than one?
No, I think Nadir is her mate. So I'm going to go through some of my questions.
My question around this, though, is the mirror specifically said that she shouldn't be able to choose between one or the other because it would cause a war.
So, I don't exactly remember what the mirror says. I just know that it was forbidden and something like that.
Yeah, so making Nadir her mate makes me question why him.
Fair enough. So let's I'm going to go through my questions and see if you have an answer for my questions.
Okay.
So, first one, what happened to the other tributes from the earlier trials, from the 2 years earlier? I think they're all dead, obviously.
They're all dead, but I really don't know the full story.
Yeah. Do you think Atlas killed them all? Because the one that he wanted wasn't there. That's kind of my thought.
Like, you think he was seeking out Laura the whole time?
Yeah.
And I wonder if one of those tributes was Nadir's
love interest, friend, something. Maybe.
I'm not sure.
So, my next one is, who is Lore? Like,
I think she's the lost daughter of,
or descendant of the Heart Queen.
Of the Heart Queen.
So the Heart Queen, we mentioned her a few times, but didn't really discuss her. She was this fae who died. I think it says centuries ago, who was ruling the Kingdom of Heart, which is kind of in between Aphelion and the Aurora, kind of in the heart of the continent.
Mm-hmm.
And they say she essentially became power mad and destroyed everything in Heart. And the entire queendom, they refer to it as a queendom as opposed to a kingdom of Heart, was completely decimated. Like, nothing grows there.
But throughout the book, there's different passages that kind of make you think that this is who she is.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is, let me just tell you that every realm
Mm-hmm.
has its own artifact.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning of the book, it talks about Lord ripping open her outfit.
Destroys a uniform, her prison garb.
Because she had a red gem tucked into it. And she carries it through the whole trial with her in a necklace. And they talk about that the Queen of Heart, their artifact was a crown with
a blood red gem. Yeah, Atlas is telling her about a little bit about the history, and he says it was this crown with this blood red gem.
Yeah.
And the mirror does tell her, seek the crown.
Is the mirror Aphelion's artifact? What is the Aurora?
It's a torch. If you look at the map at the front of the book, it has a little symbol of each kingdom's...
I was questioning because they didn't explain it when they were going through
I think they do. I think it's brushed on very briefly.
It just wasn't, like, in the same sentence as the others.
It's not as fancy as the other ones. Like a crown and a tiara and a golden mirror.
Tor has a stone.
Yeah.
A staff.
So I think we can both agree that we think that Lore is the next Heart Queen.
We think.
Given that one of the books is something, I think the last one is something the Heart Queen. Yeah. So I gotta assume that that's where we're going with the series. My next question, are Willow and Tristan actually her siblings?
It makes you wonder whether they are or not. Like, I wonder if they are guardians or if they were, like, what if their mother, I guess, was like a handmaiden or a best friend of the Heart Queen, and she was like, take my daughter,
protect her.
Yeah.
There's a statement when she's facing the mirror, like she's seeing a memory from her past, and it's when they were arrested, and both Tristan and Willow are there, so she at the very least was raised with them. I would say.
Yeah.
Whether they are biologically her siblings, because I would, since Willow is her older sister, Willow should be the heir. If they're sisters, Willow's the older one, so why wouldn't she be the next Heart Queen?
Maybe they're cousins.
Yeah, they were at the very least raised together, but I don't know that they're actually siblings.
Yeah.
My next question covers the entire book. Why Lore? There's no answer really at this point, except for it's probably because she's the Heart Queen, the future Heart Queen.
Yeah.
Because I think early on in the trials, Lore makes a comment to Gabriel about how is it fair that she is a mortal competing against Fae. So all of the other tributes have some form of magic. And he says, well, Fae don't come into their magic until he says 25. Which kind of makes me be like, okay, so we got a year. If Lore is 24, then we have a year. Like, that's the time frame that's gonna take place.
Do you think she has earth magic, though?
I think so.
My thought is the rose.
Yes, I have things about roses later on.
And the destruction of the land.
Yes. So, one of the chapters that of Nadir's point of view has Mail reporting to Nadir about he went to Hart just to check on things. And when he was there, everything was dead except for a single rose bloom.
A red one.
A single red rose bloom, yes. And this isn't the only time that roses are mentioned in the book. The soap that we mentioned earlier that Lore
and Jude were
fighting over, that was the cause of the fight between them, was rose scented. And there's a few other times where roses are mentioned in connection with Lore.
I think like her personal scent also had like an undertone of roses.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So my next question is, I think a lot of these questions boil down to the answer is, I think Lore's the Heart Queen. But the next question is, why is Atlas and Ryan so interested in Lore? And Ryan is the Aurora King's name.
The thing is, Ryan literally said something along the lines of like, it's fine if she dies, but let's keep her alive. So it's like, why are you keeping her alive, but you also want her dead?
You don't care if she dies, as long as you know that she's dead.
So why do you care so much if somebody else has her? If you cared so much that somebody else has her, why not just kill her?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think it all goes back to she's the future Heart Queen.
And it's probably just power.
Yeah, absolutely. And then why is Ryan not telling Nadir who Lore is? Like, he is just saying she's this prisoner.
I have a thought. Because I think Ryan knows that Nadir is her mate. I think they knew each other as children, perhaps.
That's perhaps a good...
And Nadir wants to take over his land. And if he mates with Lore, then his power is doubled.
Yeah, because that's something that Atlas tells Lore about the trial, is that when he mates, his power, he comes into his full power, his whole kingly power, and that would be the same eventually with Nadir. Mm-hmm. Next question, what happened to the last Heart Queen? What really happened to her? Did she essentially explode? And, like, or disintegrate? And, like, it was her death that killed the queendom? Or was it she was killed by somebody? Could it have been that? Could that have been what caused the rift between Atlas and Nadir? That, say, Atlas killed the Heart Queen, and Nadir and Lore had grown up together, maybe, and so he thought that she was gone. Maybe.
I'm not really sure. I really don't know.
Yeah, there's so many questions. Like, I still have 10 more questions that I like. And we're at almost an hour, so I'm not going to go through all of them.
Just fly through them.
Okay, so why did the rose bloom in Heart? Is it because Lore is coming into her power?
Probably.
Because she's getting closer to that age.
Yeah, that's my answer, probably.
Why was Lore in Nestraza? Like, why was she imprisoned? We know that Willow and Tristan both have formal charges, but Lore never did.
I think they're fake. Well, maybe not fake, but I think when they went to capture them, I think the Aurora King went to capture them in the forest because they lived in a little cabin in the forest, killed their mother at that time, and Tristan killed 2 of his guards.
Yes,
in
because
the process.
that is part of the memory that she sees, is Tristan did kill
I think she's there just because they went looking for her, and Tristan and Willow are there with her.
Well, I kind of wonder, because Willow's charge is for stealing an artifact. I wonder if that is the red gem, the red stone, that that is the artifact that she theoretically stole, but maybe they never found it.
Because they're looking for the crown.
Yeah.
The crown is missing. We think we have the gem.
Why is Atlas cheating for Lore? Like, what is the purpose of him making her win. And like you said, it's power, I think.
He knows who she is.
Yeah.
But the people do not.
Yeah. Why does Ryan want Lore dead in the end? Like, he's like, okay, she's out of my control, kill her, is essentially what he's...
Why not just kill her?
Yeah. Where is Lore's prison record? Because Nadir goes looking for it, and he assumes it's in his father's office. But it's not. So where is it? Because that would give information on who she is, why she's there, and all of that. Is the gem from the Heart Queen's artifact? We assume, yes.
Essentially, yeah. I think so.
What did Tristan and Will actually do to wind up in Nostraza? I think we've already kind of discussed that. I think Tristan did actually kill the guards, and Willow and Lore kind of got swept up in it. Or they were looking for Lore, and the others got swept up in it. Were the final tributes, the 10th tribute, really from Nostraza, as Atlas tells Lore? Or were they actually from the Umbra, as everybody else believes? I think that they were actually from the Umbra, and Lore was just, he wanted Lore specifically.
So he's been looking for her.
Which would make sense if, like, at this point she's 24, and she's come into her power she's coming into her power before she turns 25.
So many questions, so many unanswered questions.
Why does Nadir hate Atlas so much? There's so many, we've come up with so many possible answers to that.
Yeah.
They say the Heart Queen died centuries ago, and we have no evidence that she had an heir. So how is Lore going to be connected to her?
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
I'm excited to read the second book, honestly.
Yeah.
I hope it answers some of the questions. I hope it gives us more.
I want more questions, but I want more answers as well.
Like, I want... Like, this was a good first book. Sometimes first books, they either draw you in or they just make you confused.
Yeah.
And I think this one did both.
Yeah.
But I think if it stays on the path that it is, it's too revealing. And I would like a little bit more mystery when it comes to the writing of the books. Because, like, here we are, like, speculating, and chances are we probably are correct.
Yeah.
Which I like to be surprised.
Yeah. So I have 3 more questions. What does Lore know about her past? I think she knows a lot more than she's telling. And I think she says something along those lines. Or that maybe she has secrets that she's not going to tell.
And perhaps her memories were magically taken
by her mother,
until her magic comes into effect at 25.
Yeah. Are Lore and Nadir mates?
I think so.
Yes, probably.
But why them?
Why them? Who knows?
But it makes sense since they're the two main point of views.
Yeah. And final question. How will Lore be the Heart Queen when she's immortal, not Fae? Though this is kind of, like, it seems that mortals can become Fae through magic.
Yeah.
Like, the mirror elevates the tribute, or the winner of the Heart Queen trials to Imperial Fae from Fae, so presumably it would be able to do that from a mortal to an Imperial Fae as well.
Have you ever watched The Winx Club?
Yes.
When I think of it something like this, it's kind of like you're human, and then all of a sudden you can transform into your fairy form. I feel like that'll be her. She'll be like,
I'm queen now.
I'm the queen.
I also
Cinderella.
Like, kind of like the comment you said about her magic or her memories being blocked until she comes into her power. That could also be like her appearance or her ability is blocked until she gets to that point when she comes into her full power or more of her power.
I don't know.
There's a lot of questions.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this first book.
Yeah.
This first installment.
Yes.
We have 3 more to come, but like Sarah said at the beginning, we will be taking a break between 2 and 3 because we have our first podcast guest coming.
Yes.
And that'll be dropping in March, along with her book.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be posting a lot more on that, so you'll have lots of details.
I've started reading it, and it's very good so far. So.
I have not yet, but I plan on it, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't read this book, I think you definitely should.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very, very good book.
Yep.
The narration is not my favorite of books that I've listened to, but the content of it is very, very good. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely recommend reading it. Yeah.
It was a quick read.
It was a really quick read. I think I read it or listened to it in like a week and a half.
Yeah, same.
And I remember texting you and being like, I'm going to finish this book today.
And I finished it like 2 days later.
Yeah. She was like, I'm on chapter 5.
But as soon as I started reading it, it was game over. I stayed up one night until like 1:30.
Far later than she should.
And then I went to work the next day and I was like, it was worth it.
Yeah. All right. So remember to follow us on Instagram at Beyond the Pages.
With Sav and Sarah.
With Sav and Sarah. Check out our website at beyondthepages.ca. Like this video, follow us on YouTube, or subscribe to the video. We will be posting more information on our website and on our Instagram. And we hope you really enjoyed this.
And remember to tell a friend.
Tell a friend, because a book continues beyond its pages.
Bye!